So, classical liberal, English liberal, Carl Benjamin has done a video where he takes personal, individual responsibility for the actions of himself and his broader conservative political project. So, let's get straight into the video.
So I thought I would just record a slight stream of consciousness here because it's become very apparent that the left simply does not understand what is happening at the moment, right? Why the right is acting in the way that the right is acting.
Okay, so we're foreshadowing a theme of this video, essentially psychological projection. He's saying we don't understand what's happening. Actually, I don't think he understands from a materialist sociological point of view that history has especially over the last 400 years or so, we live in the age of revolution. And we've had movements going back to the start of liberalism in the Netherlands, the feminist movement, suffragettes in the early 20th century, the civil rights movement, and even Obama. Like the 8-year presidency of Obama saw a massive backlash of paranoia, right wing paranoia, and then we had Trump. So, yeah, what we're seeing now is a backlash to progressivism. It's always happened. Over the last 400 years, it's been happening. The progressives are pushing something forward, and then you have resistance from the right, like saying, okay, you're going too far. This is too much. Now we need to redress the balance, or there push it back for, and then next presidency in 4 years' time or 8 years' time, we'll see a push to the left again. And this is kind of how it goes. So yeah, we know exactly what's happening. If you step back, it's easy when you're in the midst of it to kind of go, oh, but if you step back historically and look at this is very typical of progressive movements, and then a backlash towards that.
They don't know why things seem to be going so far off of the rails, and it's actually kind of strange and beautiful to watch. Not what is actually happening. I actually don't think that the Republicans and some of the more
See, incoherent. Like it's strange and beautiful what's happening, not what's actually happening. What does that mean? That there's a theme here that just completely. His biggest point on Trump is so contradictory, and you'll see it soon.
sort of hard edge of the MAGA movement should go quite as far as they're going at the moment with the positions that they're taking and some of the things that they are doing.
Keep that in mind, what you just said. Keep that in mind for later on.
I actually don't think that's terribly useful in the long run. And I can see many people on the left who are just recoiling in horror at what's happening. What has Steve Bannon done just now? What has Trump just said about Zelensky just now? What is Elon tweeting about Zelensky just now? Like, what are they doing to these various constituencies that we care about? What is going on? And the answer is these people have become untethered from your moral system entirely, right? They have arrived at the point where they are saying, we do not care about your moral judgments.
Okay, so a theme of this, there's a few themes. There's no agency to these people. Like Trump, you'll see, there's no agency at all. It's all like, kind of, you made us do it. Kind of abuse the logic of like, say, you pushed us to this. We have no agency. We have to act like this. You went too far with your trans rights, and now we have to burn it all down. Sorry, but, you pushed our hand.
I can tell you why this has happened, right? For years, the left has refused to engage with their opponents. It's literally this simple.
Simply not true. You used to do debates. You've done debates famously with Vosh, Destiny, others, and you lost sorely. Now you don't do debates because your logic and your ideology is so easy to pull apart that you don't do it because you just get smashed. And there's a reason why figures like Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, they only debate, and Jordan Peterson will only debate college students. It's because they know they can win with an 18-year-old who hasn't got the tactics, the gish gallops, the Motte Baileys, the kind of logical fallacies that the right employ. So, yeah, he's not going to debate some like pretty like imagine him debating Mehdi Hasan. Why wouldn't he do that? Of course, he's not going to do that. So the idea that we don't talk to you, we did, but you lost the debate and you're too scared to debate now. Come and debate. Come and debate, Carl. But they won't. So the idea that, you won't talk to us, up your game a bit. I know you did a degree recently. Maybe you've got a bit better at arguing, but come on.
You can find a million mainstream left-wing centrist, but actually incredibly left-wing, agrees on with the radical communists on everything, right? Everything is
Radical communists.
gay race communism to the left.
Okay, yeah, that's something that exists in the mainstream.
All of it, right? From like the Rory Stewarts, who would consider themselves like, centrist dads, to the Ash Sarkar literal revolutionaries who are literally communists, right? The entire spectrum at this point is radical left.
Yeah. Yeah, Rory Stewart believes in a classless, stateless, moneyless society. Yeah, he's always talking about it. He's like, why can't we just, build a utopia, like abandon capitalism? He's always talking about that, yeah. Sargon's so right.
And the entire spectrum of the left has decreed it can never actually speak to the right.
Again, pure projection. Pure projection. Yeah, we're polarized, but we had these conversations like 5-6 years ago. You lost. You're not good at debating. They're too scared to debate. They will just debate college students because they can get the own and they've got the upper hand because they can, control the mic and control the environment and control, same with Stephen Crowder, Change My Mind. Why doesn't he do it with, Ben Burgess, Sam Cedar? I'd love to see Carl Benjamin debate Sam Cedar. They won't do it. They're too scared. So he's saying you got to talk. Yeah, I agree. We've got to talk. We've got to talk this out. But you're too scared, Carl.
And so you've got podcast after podcast, TV show after TV show, newspaper column after newspaper column, just condemning the right without ever engaging with them. And
again, pure projection. That's what you do. Condemn the left without engaging with them. Because again, he's too scared because he will lose. Just have a debate. Okay, well, put your money where your mouth is. Talk to us then. Talk to someone on the left. There's plenty of people that will talk to you who are really good debaters on the left. Would he say? Is he going to say that at the end? No, because it's like, you're making us do this. You didn't talk to us. Carl, grow up.
Just saying, you're bad people, you're bad people, you're bad people. We will never listen to your opinion. We'll never have you in the room while we're calling you bad people. We will never have you explain yourself in a charitable and honest way. So we will try and understand.
But he's just like that saying, they were leftist communists. Are you listening to them in a charitable way and going, actually, Rory Stewart is a liberal. He's pretty much centrist right. Ash Sarkar is pretty far left. And you're just conflating them. You're not offering that. Fair enough if you were, offering that good faith gesture. But it works both ways, Carl. You've got to be honest and go, okay, what have the right done in this debate? We are massively polarized, more than ever. The far right is going there and the far left is going that way. How do we have a sensible conversation? He's not talking about that. He's just going, well, we were right. You didn't talk to us, even though, I got completely destroyed in debates. But, I don't want to do debates anymore because you don't want to do debates. So,
Your perspective, because we're too busy calling you bad people, and the right has got to the point where they're just saying, okay, we do not care anymore. We are not looking for your approval now because it's become apparent that such a thing will never come.
But they didn't care about the approval. Do you think Steve Bannon cares about the approval of the left or Donald Trump? they don't care about approval. Why are you acting like you do? You're so civility pilled. Like, if you just spoke to each other, why is he lying? I don't understand where the lies come from. Because it's like he can't take accountability. It's like, you forced us to do this. See, like, if you would have spoken, there's no agency here for the right. It's like Trump. He's Biden made him do it. Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, made Trump do what he did.
We cannot have some sort of discourse and dialogue where we have an understanding of each other's concerns and we try to work towards a mutually agreed solution. That is just off the table now.
But you live in a different world of misinformation, Carl. You know you're lying. That's why you won't do debates, because it's so easy just to debunk your lies. Because at a certain point, it's like, okay, you are just lying. You don't care about the truth. You'll just massage, data, or just spread lies. And that's why we're so divided. It's because the misinformation. We live in a post-truth world where you can just spread misinformation about Haitians eating cats and dogs. And you're like, yeah, that's real. And we're like, well, it's not happening, is it? And then it's like, how do you have a debate with someone like that, where you literally live in a mirror world, a bespoke reality, where facts don't matter anymore? It's all about feelings, baby.
Now, right, what's happening is that Trump, Bannon, Elon, the rest, they're just here to crush you. They're going to just crush you.
They're not really. One thing about fascism, it's so incompetent, and they're going to just undermine themselves in their own incompetence. I mean, look at Elon Musk. He has no idea what he's doing. Steve Bannon does. He's a clever man. He knows what he's doing. He's got a goal, and he is like a rabid dog. But he's not part of it anymore. He's on the outskirts now. He's criticizing Elon Musk. So the idea that they're going to completely be incompetent. They're already seeing that. Inflation's already gone up. They're just going to cut public spending. And the average American's going to go, some already are going, oh no, they're going too far. I didn't vote for this. And then it's going to fall apart. Inevitably, it's going to fall apart.
They've decided that you are not worth having in their civilization anymore as a political force. That's why they're defunding everything that you've done. All of the left-wing apparatus that was used to prop up this one-sided propaganda industrial complex is going. They're going...
One side. I like that. Just like Fox News was the biggest news outlet that covered the election last November. Millions, literally had the most. Fox News, right wing. So somehow it's left-wing propaganda that has the monopoly on people's... No, it's massively right-wing. Joe Rogan, biggest podcaster. He knows he's lying here, but it doesn't matter to him.
To ruin it all for you. And they're going to do it because you would not sit down and take them seriously.
We did, Carl.
You would not sit down and give them the respect that, frankly, they deserved to have.
We did, Carl.
And you're still not doing it. I'm still seeing shitlib podcast after shitlib podcast that just sounds like the most...
I love that. Shitlib. So it's kind of like, you don't listen to us, but we're allowed to call you names. And like, you're a communist and all communists. And Rory Stewart is a communist. Yeah, Rory Stewart's a communist now. Truly insane. Like, you couldn't make this up. And people actually believe what he's saying. They eat this shit up.
Full-throated YouTube communist revolutionary. And I'm like, okay, so they've learned nothing. They've modulated themselves in no way. They haven't reconsidered any of their positions. And they refuse to move from the most radical left-wing perspective to even just slightly budge towards the centre. Even though this is all good.
Are you going to move to the centre, Carl? You call yourself a classic liberal. Are you going to move to the centre? What the hell?
Good stuff that is being done. Right? Elon is saving the taxpayer an unbelievable amount of money, and that will translate into people paying less tax. That's good for them.
That ain't happening. That ain't happening. He's not going to make people's lives better. Already people are losing jobs. That has an impact on inflation in the economy. People are going to be worse off, and already are. Egg prices haven't gone down. Grocery prices were a priority. Day one, they were going to come down. Have they? No. This isn't going to make people's lives better. Doge is not going to make people's lives better. It just means they're going to skim more from the top. Yeah, SpaceX has got its contracts. But again, he knows he's lying here. He knows he's lying, but that doesn't matter, does it?
Should be able to say, yeah, okay, I understand. I wanted massive amounts of wealth redistribution because I think I can save the world through welfare, but I also...
Yes, yeah, that's what leftists say. I'm always saying that. Like, I can save the world through welfare. That's a slogan we have. That's our slogan on the left. Like, I can save the left through welfare. Yep. That's what we believe. If we just had welfare, we could save the world. But, we don't have welfare in the UK, so the world will not be saved.
can at least understand why you would do that. And for some reason, instead, all we get is this constant cacophony of everyone's this, everyone's that, everyone's a Nazi, everyone's a Nazi.
Yeah. But you can't call Rory Stewart a communist. He's a commie. Libtard. But you are racist. Carl, we know you're racist. Like acting like you're not racist. It's just silly. It's a silly sausage.
Nazi, everyone's a fascist, everyone's evil, everyone's bad, everyone's a racist, everyone's this, everyone's that. And now you've got Steve Bannon throwing up Roman salutes.
Like Roman salute, i.e. Ezekiel. It's not a Roman salute. It's call it what it is. But again, yeah, but they're like, when... the cognitive dissonance, when Steve Bannon, one of the most prominent figures on the right of the last 20 years, easily, if not longer, does Ezekiel... We're not racist. We're not far right. Insane.
In front of an entire crowd and not caring. Like Elon did it, he was autistic. Calvin...
Again, taking the agency away from... And I mean, that is ableist. Like, he's autistic. I'm autistic. I know when to Ezekiel or not to Ezekiel, and I would not Ezekiel ever. Like, it's insane. It's insane. Just... agency for people on the left, but them, it's like, no, Elon Musk is autistic.
Calvin didn't, he was trolling, but I don't...
Oh, Calvin does it, he's trolling. It's just a joke. When he did it, it's just trolling. So he's not responsible for that. He can just do it, and it's a joke. And if you don't get it, that's fine.
No, if Steve Bannon is trolling, I think he's just like, fuck you. And you made him happen.
Yeah, Again, no agency. I thought conservatism was about individual responsibility and taking account for your actions. He has not taken account at all. He's not gone, a dialogue takes two. It takes two to tango when you're talking. And I will agree with him. I will concede one point on this, that we need to talk. I do. I think we need to talk. I will have a conversation with someone on the far right. I will listen to what they say. And I will have my point of view too. But we did that, Carl. And you ran scared because you can't debate. Because your ideas are like a little house of cards. You poke them and they fall apart immediately.
You made him come to this point. You need to start sitting down and having an actual discussion with people. This name...
Are you going to do that, Carl, then? I want you to talk with Sam Cedar, Ben Burgess, Mehdi Hasan, first of all. Start with them three, and then we'll move from there. Have a discussion about immigration. Do it, Carl. I'd love to see that. People would love to see that. People love to see you get wrecked. Again.
Name-calling, slander politics has to come...
Just call people... Rory Stewart's a commie. Or / he's a libtard. Which one of... Whatever... What day it is, it doesn't matter. He's a libtard or a commie. Tuesday, he's a commie. Thursday, he's a libtard. Whatever. Just say whatever. Just say whatever. Ugh.
To an end. And if it doesn't come to an end, don't be surprised when they show you no mercy. Don't be surprised at all when literally you're just like, look, please don't defund this. And they're like, no, that's already gone. What are you talking about? We defunded that before I walked in the room. That's gone. Don't lock that person up. No, we've decided this person's a criminal and we're locking them up. Oh, well, but I mean, can we have a reasonable discussion about this? And they will laugh in your face. They were like, no, you sowed the fucking wind. You are going to reap the whirlwind.
He's so emotional.
You are getting this as hard and as deep and as fast as we can make it. And we are going to make these cuts last forever. You are going to be forever scarred by the damage they're going to do to you. And you've done this to yourselves.
He's like an abuser. You can imagine him saying this to his wife. You made me do this. Oh, you made me do this.
This is your own fault. None of this would be happening. Trump, do you not notice how almost every one of your most powerful arch enemies, the people who want you destroyed and are currently in the process of tearing down everything you've built since the Obama administration, does it not make you weirded out that every single one of them is an ex-Democrat?
No, because they have no values. Trump has no values except money. Yes, he used to be a Democrat. He gave money to the Clintons, but he has no value. He has no values. It's just like he'll just go wherever the wind is. Do you think Trump has integrity? Of course he doesn't. Elon Musk doesn't. So that's not an argument call. Oh, so these people will just go wherever the money goes. Therefore, they have values. They don't, Carl. Like, if there was money on the left, you'd be on the left too, probably. But there's no money on the left, so he's just gone right. It's all about money. Like, Zuckerberg, do you think Zuckerberg has values? He just bent the knee to Trump for money.
Every single one used to be on your side, and now they loathe you with the fury of 1,000 suns, and now they are going to scorch you out of existence. They are going to destroy the woke mind virus.
I was wondering when that was going to come. Like, oh, the woke mind. It's silly. Like, I knew Carl was bad, but I didn't think he was this bad. Like, he's got a degree. He could have like upped his game a little bit in the last few years, but he's God.
And they're going to enjoy doing it. They're literally going to burn you down because you couldn't be reasonable. And it's like you still don't.
Because you sound reasonable here, Carl. they're being so reasonable now, aren't they? They're just being reasonable. Like, there's no way that Trump acts like a toddler. He's not known for being literally a toddler. That his aides and people who look after him literally treat him like a toddler. No, he's reasonable. And Carl Benjamin's reasonable too. He's been having debates. He's always pushing for debates with people on the left. No, he's not.
Understand this. And it's just frustrating, to be honest. It's just really frustrating how you're unable
Carl.
to have a reasonable conversation with anyone. Like, literally, you are such...
Do I have to say it again? We did, Carl, and you lost. Skill issue, my friend. Skill issue.
I mean, you were genuinely controlled by a woke mind virus. They're not wrong when they make that
Look,
assessment.
you can't even think. There's no thought going on here. It's like, you made us do it. We've got no agency. You've got a woke mind. Silly. Very silly.
And everyone can see it. Every single one can see it. And I know, like, you've got this impulse and you're like, God, I need to call them a racist. I need to call... No, they're all going home. They're all going home. Do you understand? They're going home. It doesn't matter how much you say the magic word, racist, doesn't matter. They're going home. You can screech the word racist into the void forever.
Okay, we get it, Carl. You don't believe racism exists. But it does. In your reality, no one can be racist, even though you are racist. But just no accountability for their actions. Just no agency. Like, you call it racist. No, we're not. No, just say it. No. Well, what about listen to us when we say that? Engage with that. But he can't. He's just pure projection. This whole video is Projection, the musical. I think he should do some singing and dancing as well to kind of like get a bit of a vibe going because he's not thinking. It's a stream of consciousness because he's not thinking. He's not written these notes down and go, right, what do I really, let's use some critical thinking here. It's pure emotion, a psychological projection, and you made me do it.
They are going home. Ask why. Ask why. Ask why you can't have a discussion about that. Ask if there can be any concord. Ask something, or watch your entire project get vaporized by people who think that they are on a crusade. Literal crusader crosses on them. They are coming to wipe you out. Can you be reasoned with in any way, shape, or form?
Can you, Carl? Can Trump? Of course he can't. His whole first term was his aides and his staffers going, we can't do this. This is insane. You're like a child. We have to babysit you. It's exhausting. He's not intelligent. But no, it's the left's fault. No. The GOP, embraced Trump. They embraced that populism. George Bush was pro-immigrant. You've pushed yourself there. You can blame leftists all you want, but you have agency, Carl. You're a big boy now. You have control of what you say. And you lost the debate. You don't do debates because you're not very good at it.
Can you be brought to understand that you are in fact in this way the architects of your own demise? Or will it literally be...
He's acting like it was a landslide. Trump won the popular vote by 1.5%. It was incredibly close. Like, fair enough if this was like a big thing, but it was incredibly close. And America's massively divided, pretty much 50-50. Trump is not liked. Trump's not liked across the world. Outside of Israel, Kenya, and the Philippines. So don't act like this is this big reckoning that, oh, everyone spoke. It's like, we're very divided on this. The UK specifically is a very progressive place. Environmentalism and feminism, I know you don't like that, Carl, are the two most popular ideologies. And he's acting like this big reckoning's coming. Civilizations clash. Left versus right. This isn't happening. We are more progressive than you, Carl. You call yourself a classic liberal. You don't believe in liberalism.
That in 200 years' time, there is a historical note in the history textbooks. There was something called the woke movement.
Yeah, and we'll be vindicated like the suffragettes would. There was a pushback against the suffragettes. The civil rights movement, there's a pushback against that. There's always a pushback. History's a pendulum, Carl. You should know that. But he can't step back. It's so ironic he says that, history books. No, people go, yeah, actually, yeah, trans people are right, weren't they? We did get a bit, a bit scared of them, but then they'll be accepted in society. This will happen unequivocally. But, he's so emotional. He's getting very het up now, isn't he?
You may have heard of them. They were much like the Cathars or the Bogomils or some other...
bringing out that degree.
The Platonic, Pythagoreans or something like this. Like a weird religious sect took over this city, like the Anabaptist of Munster or something. And what happened? Well, there was a crusade against them. They got wiped out. And that was the end of that. And that's why there are no more of these people around. And everyone was like, okay, well, that was really crazy. Look at the crazy things they believed. And believe me, when your beliefs are...
What crazy? Again, he's so vague posting, like, he says we're going too far. What? Like, will he reveal what he means?
When your beliefs are represented in history books, you're going to look fucking bonkers. Genuinely mad. You're going to look...
I think Trump is going to look more mad than people on the left, historically. I guarantee, we will be vindicated and Trump will be like, how the hell was he elected twice? Fraudster, friend of Epstein, criminal, worst businessman ever, complete failure by any standard. How did he become president? How?
Look like modern lobotomists. Like, you are going to look insane in the history books. Do you understand?
Pure projection again.
Just at no point, it doesn't have to be a scorched earth campaign that is waged against you. You just have to admit you were wrong about a bunch of stuff. That's all you have to do. You just have to go, maybe we've gone too far.
That's it. You're right. You're wrong. I'm right. That's it.
Maybe we're not correct about that. Maybe there's a reason that the Democratic
About what?
Rousseau...
Again, vague posting. Like what? What were we wrong about? Trans people should have rights. What? Like, give an example. He can't, because if you were to actually break it down and go, actually, yeah, trans people should have rights. You know, you may not like them, Carl, but they are people. And, you know, not that long ago, people like you didn't like homosexuals or black people, but sorry, they are people too.
General Will has revealed to us through the ballot box, because surely this is what you must believe, that in fact we were wrong. And that was our particular wills that was informing our really nonsense policies. And so maybe...
Such as? He can't. They never give an example. That's the thing, he can't, because then I could go into that and go, actually, this is not true. Because he knows he's lying, but that's why he won't give an example here. But people will just eat this up and go, oh, yeah, he's right. No examples, no evidence for his claims.
Maybe we should do some sort of introspection. Maybe we can admit that it was us and not everyone else. But I know that you won't do.
The left is doing introspection. The right don't do it. They're just like, do you think Trump has ever introspected about his actions? He's the same person he was than he was 70 years ago as a toddler. He hasn't grown. He hasn't matured. Yeah, we are doing self-reflection. But history will vindicate us and go, yeah, actually, yeah. This backlash happened, it's happened before, and it will happen again in relation to future progressive movements.
That. I know that if a single left-winger watched this video, and please do let me know if you do, I know you will admit nothing. I know.
Well, I've admitted one thing, that we need to be talking. I agree with that. But you won't talk, Carl. So, how about it? He won't. He won't talk with Mehdi Hasan or the big, debaters on the left. So why is he saying it? Why lie?
You will say, like Jeremy Corbyn, we may have lost the election, but we won the argument. As your movement is scoured from his...
Oh yeah, so I love that. There's a massive media campaign against Jeremy Corbyn. The establishment did not want someone like that. And it's like, we did win the argument. We literally did. Like, people's policy, on paper, people preferred Jeremy Corbyn's. And they do. People naturally lean to left-leaning things. They want stuff. They want the NHS to be funded. They want their taxes spent on infrastructure and schools. They do, Carl. You're wrong. People don't want what the Tories gave us in the last 14 years. Tax cuts, tax cuts, tax cuts. And then taxes go up. And then the rich... I know you want that because you're a cook to the billionaire class. But your average person doesn't. And they have to be convinced that they don't want this stuff.
Distance by furious ex-Democrats who are just so tired of hearing of you and anything you do, and just have understood that a drop of leftism is poison now. And so it all has to go. And that's, I agree with them, to be honest. I think a single drop of leftism is poison at this point. Again, all of it could have been talked out. You could have made reasonable concessions. Could have said, yep, we understand that you think that is too far. And therefore, because we respect you as our fellow countrymen, we won't do that. And the right would have said, okay, fair enough. Well, we understand that you think that's too far. So because we respect you, we won't do that either.
No, you wouldn't, Carl. You wouldn't. Fair enough, like, if this is true. I think this is how it should happen. Like, we should have a conversation like big boys. But you don't, Carl. Don't act like you do. Again, the last time I'll say it, you don't debate because you lost. It's that simple. Get better. Have better arguments. I mean, you can't inherently because you're conservative. But just get better and then we can have a conversation. But he won't. Because he knows he's just going to get trounced. Like, I'd love to see him and Sam Cedar. Oh.
We would like some other concessions, and you would say, well, we want some concessions on this, and that's fine, and we would negotiate. We would have a discussion about it. We would understand the fundamental legitimacy of each other's position, and we would say, right, well, we'll come to a compromise that makes sure that everything works well and make sure everything happens as it ought. But I know you can't do that. I know you won't do that. And so I'm just letting you know you are heading for oblivion and everyone will cheer when you are gone.
Just so emotional. And the idea that
is one of the most basic principles.
Somehow that Trump is this reasonable guy that he can be like convinced. He's so emotional. He's so irrational. And there's no debating or conversation with Trump. He just calls names. He's just like, so much of that is projection. And debate people, Carl. Talk to people. You don't, because you lost the argument. So hit the like button and I'll see you in the next video.